Hey everybody, welcome back to Generation X Nation. First things first, as always, thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. It does not go unnoticed. I definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all. Hit that like button. Tell a friend, subscribe. Okay. I do the best I can over here. I'm out here on an ocean all by myself, but I do what I can. Again, if you haven't listened to any of my videos or watched my channel, everything is alleged in my opinion and for entertainment purposes only. Alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. My commentary is done week to week based on the episodes that air. I do not have a dog in this fight. I do not care one way or another. I don't know any of these people personally. I do understand when they show the episodes, things are edited. Some things stays, we never see. And maybe at a reunion, they'll show a clip that they didn't air, just to get the story to come full circle. I hate when they do that. Just tell us the whole story so we don't have to sit here and guess. But that's how it works. Um, Again, thank you. I appreciate it. Disclaimer here, the way I do my commentary, I know sometimes I'm a day or two late, but I don't look at other people's YouTube channels until I do my commentary. I record a lot of stuff and I have to take the time to watch it first before I do my commentary. Then I record, I upload it, and then I'll go look at what other people had to say. And a lot of times we do have the same viewpoints. And I do that specifically because there's a lot of issues out here in YouTube and I don't want no smoke from nobody. I don't want people saying you stealing their commentary, just repeating everything they say. We all see the same thing, and a lot of us come to the same conclusion because we all have life experiences and we all have similar experiences, some of us. So it doesn't seem far-fetched that we would have the same conclusion on certain things that we see. That don't mean you stealing from somebody. So just keep that in mind too. Um, I mean, people get out here and they start, oh, she took this and I'm just gonna leave that alone. Let that sit where it's at. Okay. So we're gonna do this review recap real quick of Bell Collective. I'm gonna make it quick because all I really want to talk about is the whole Latrice, Letitia, Cliff, Glenn, and the Marie of it all. Because there is something going on in this mixture that we have to break down. But before we get it started, I'm going to go over just a real quick glimpse of some other things that I saw on the show, and that would be I'm sorry, the new lady Carrie, and I think her husband name is it Matt? Yeah, Carrie and Matt, and then we will talk about Marie and Cedric real quick. All right, so we'll get started with Carrie and Matt. So okay, Carrie and Matt, I don't know. It was something about when they were sitting in that, I'm assuming it was the batting cage area where he was training one of his clients because he's some type of agent and he also does training for baseball. And she was talking to him about, spending more time with him, slowing down on the work. And it was just the way he was looking at her like, yeah, I done heard this before from you. You never change. Carrie, let me just say this. You in a Kingdom Reign production. I don't care how perfect your marriage is, at some point, if they find a crack in it, they're going to expose it. So let me say this. If you got anything that has happened that you don't want to be aired, be careful how you move because if you piss off the wrong person, they're going to air it and they're going to find it because they love to do that on these particular shows that Kingdom Reign production does. They are known to find the crack in your marriage and expose it. So either they'll fix the foundation or they'll tear it down. It just depends on which way the wind blows. All right. Some people survive, some people don't. So be careful, Carrie, because the body language I was getting from your husband, I'm not saying y'all not in love with each other. I'm not saying y'all don't respect each other. I believe you're seem like you're a good businesswoman. Seem like he got stuff going on, but it seems like there's something else there. And I can't quite put my finger on it. And if I'm wrong, hey, I'm wrong. Y'all may have a perfect marriage. I don't know. But it seems to me when they get on these platforms at Kingdom Reign, something is always wrong within the marriage that people can't see on the surface, but eventually it comes out. All right, we're going to talk about it. And again, hopefully I'm sorry, Matt and Kiera get it together. Okay, I have to look at my notes sometime. Now, we're going to talk real quick about Maria and Cedric. Marie is as happy as I've ever seen her. I hope her and Cedric uh, make it. I hope they figure this out and I hope they get together and start new and fresh. But the thing I find it odd is Cedric don't want to give up this extra spot. And I'm going to talk about that toward the end. Marie, I get it. She's looking at this bed in there saying, how many, you know, floozies and been laid up in this bed. I ain't finna lay up in here, get a new bed. I understand Cedric's thing, like, oh, we can keep it here for people that come visit. We're going to talk about that later. But for now, I understand why Maria wants the bed to go. I appreciate her and Cedric trying to work it out. They do have children together and they share some, I guess, joint children what that they had previously prior to the marriage. Good job, Marie. And this is the happiest I've ever seen her. So maybe all she ever needed was Cedric because after her and Cedric divorced, from the first season, Marie has always been a tough cookie going through the other season. It was always something with Marie, arguing with somebody, walking out on things. It's not getting along with the castmates. And now we figured out all Marie needed was a man. Marie is happier than I ever seen her. So kudos to Marie and Cedric. I hope y'all get it figured out. I hope it works this season. And we're looking for good things down the road. Um, I think they're still together because I remember her doing an interview on Carlos King, Reality with the King on Monday night, and it seemed like her and Cedric are still going full steam ahead. So kudos to them. Now let's get to the gist of this whole episode, and that's again, the Latrice, the Cliff, the Glenn, the Letitia, and the Maria of it all. All right, so the episode starts with them finishing up the argument about Glenn and Mandy. Mandy and Letitia are outside discussing. They're showing each other the DMs or the text messages or whatever it is she has. And Letitia's like, hey, we're doing all of this. These messages were dated prior to our recommitment. Our recommitment was in January. You don't have anything dated after January. I'm good. Okay? Glenn is inside, still defending himself with Javon. Javon said, I seen the message. Now, Javon is the young lady that Amanda showed up with. I seen the message. You're lying. I seen it. So everybody else is just sitting there looking. Now, the guys eventually move on to the pool area. They come outside, and while they're standing there, they're telling Glenn, be calm. Don't go off. Be calm. And Glenn remains calm. I will give him that credit. Letitia comes over to Glenn. He's sitting there quietly. I didn't do that, this and that. But he finally did admit that he did reach out to her outside of the quote birthday messages. And they did dance and nothing happened after that. Now, rewind just a little bit. She showed her another message that was after January, that was in February, where they was like trying to hook up or something. Where you gonna be at? I'm gonna be here and there. Okay. And so Letitia was like, wait a minute, this was after the commitment thing in January. So that's what pissed her off to go over and talk to Glenn. All right. Letitia's like, I'm tired of being embarrassed. I'm tired of you doing this stuff. Man just sitting there trying to walk off Amanda after she done spilled the beans on Glenn. Glenn is still trying to remain calm so that he don't look bad. So Amanda's like, let me be clear, I'm not lying. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't, he said, hey, I didn't take nobody home. We just had a dance and that was it. I don't know why Amanda felt the need to do that. I just don't get it. So then they all leave. And then Latrice and Cliff sitting in the kitchen. I guess the party's over and everybody leaves after that. I just don't understand for the life of me why Glenn keeps getting himself caught in these predicaments. I don't know why Mandy felt the need to do that in front of everybody at that moment. None of that made sense to me. Now, mind you, Mandy is Latrice's friend. We all know that. And then Mandy also knows Letitia through Latrice. So why would you? I'm going to leave that alone. So anyway, they get back. They go to the next scene where Marie and Carrie goes over to Letitia's house. She's sitting there just still shocked at what happened. And they're trying to cheer her up. But let me tell you, this is what I really want to get into. Marie is 100% right. Y'all remember Marie and Latrice had a big argument for the last couple of seasons because Latrice lied about something pertaining to Maria's healthcare business. And I don't remember if the state was investigating her or she was accusing her of fraud, but it was something. I would have to go back and look at the episodes. But it could have affected Marie's business. She's correct on that. But not just that. Remember, Latrice was the one who brought Selena to the show. And then Selena had the issue with So Gucci that caused So Gucci to leave. Remember, Latrice was the one who had it out with So Gucci because So Gucci didn't give her, So Gucci was a realtor and she got pissed off because So Gucci didn't get a building or help her find a building, but was mad because So Gucci found somebody else's building. Latrice has been doing this kind of stuff for a long time. And if I ain't mistaken, I have to think about it. I remember somebody had something going on with Tambra's boyfriend who was allegedly, I don't know, some issue. I forgot what it was, but I have to go back and look and see if Latrice was the one that started that. Now, Latrice is doing all of this, but when she was in the hot seat about Cliff calling her a bitch in the parking lot, snatching her out of the club, and they was like, hey, blink twice if you need help. I don't need no help. Me and Cliff is just fine. Come on, Latrice. Latrice is deflecting everything from her marriage and making sure that don't happen ever again. Let me start getting some eyes over here what y'all got going on. Because we all knew Glenn was a cheater from day one, season one, when he sat on that stage and had to do the paternity test. So that is no news to us that Glenn was a cheater. Marie divorced her husband for cheating, so that wasn't news to us. But Latrice even threw shade prior to the party about I would invite Tamara, but her boyfriend may not be available. See, that was another shade. So if you start looking down the list, Latrice has been throwing shade at people. You know, she got mad at somebody who was talking about her goddess hair links. I think that was Marie when she was telling her the hair wasn't good. Latrice has constantly been part of the problem. Latrice and the other castmate, I'm sorry, Will and I forget his wife name, but Will and the lady who left who was helping rebuild Jackson. Latrice had an issue with her. Y'all start thinking back. Latrice has had a problem with almost everybody, but it's always one person on a show that constantly has problems with people. And for this particular show, it looks like it's Latrice who keeps the pot stirred because she doesn't want any eyes on her and her and Cliff. Now, mind you, Latrice and Cliff sat in that bar and she said, why are you sitting here and spending the night in this apartment that we have instead of coming home? Now, think about this, and this is just the way my mind thinks, and all of this is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. They've accused Cliff of maybe drinking a little too much over some of the seasons. Maybe Cliff is having a little bit too many drinks and he decided to crash there because he don't want to drive home. Or we know Cliff and Glenn are very close. Maybe Cliff is staying there because he's opening up a place for Glenn to stay with his little rendezvous that he find around Jackson. I don't know, but it's just odd to me. All right, Cliff has a place that he likes to call quote unquote to get away from everything. It's just weird because if you notice in this cycle on these shows, what is his name? Marie's husband, Cedric, don't want to give up the place he got. And think about this is a Kingdom Rain production down there in Huntsville. They had a little man cave above Credit One. Ladies, if all these men have these extra places outside of their homes, wouldn't y'all think something's wrong with that? Because most men will just have a man cave. They'll build a room there where they can watch TV, hang out with their boys, away from everything. You give them their privacy. These particular men don't want man caves at the house. They want a whole apartment somewhere else. Okay? Even down there in Love and Hip Hop, what's his name? Rashida's husband, Kirk. Remember he had that condo? Jasmine Leslie got pregnant at that condo. Why is it that all these men are buying these extra properties or apartments to hang out in when they could just build man caves at their house? Because all these people allegedly got these big homes and mansions, whatever. Build you a room at your house that your friends can come over. Why do you have to have an outside separate apartment? That's what you should be worried about, Latrice, instead of worried about what Letitia and Glenn got going on. Now, Letitia is friends with this girl since high school. I'm sorry. Latrice was friends with this girl from high school. Letitia know this girl through Latrice. Letitia even asked her, hey, you around me all the time and you couldn't tell me this? You around me. Well, I just didn't know how to come to you. Knew. You cannot tell me Latrice didn't know prior to this being on film. You cannot tell me that she didn't tell Latrice what was going on. Maria is correct. Latrice is a snake. She is a snake, and she ambushed her. And the reason I believe she ambushed her, because when the show was airing, she stood at that counter with the girl and said, "Make up some questions. What do you have so far?" They cut the clip. You don't think that girl said, is anybody here attracted to somebody else? They just didn't air it so it looked sensationalized when it was asked during the session when all the couples was there. Latrice knew that question was on that list. She gonna act like she didn't know what was on there. I call bullshit because it's your party. And I know damn well you reviewed those questions. You cannot sell me anything different. Latrice, you foul for that shit. And I believe you are somewhat of a snake, at least in this episode. So I need you to prove me wrong by the end of the season. Latrice knew this was going to happen. Latrice set this up. Latrice has a history of setting people up. Once again, look at what she did to Marie. Look at what she did to So Gucci. Look at what she did to I forget her name, Tambra. Latrice has been known to set people up. She has been known to be shady to people, to throw the trail off of what her and Glenn got going on. That's just the way I seen it. Latrice, are you really their friend? I know Latrice wants to clock in. I think Latrice feels like Letitia has set herself up front and said she is the head of the collective. And maybe Latrice feels some kind of way about it because maybe I should be the head because maybe I got the most going on or have the most money or something, and she wants to be the head. How did Letitia get that position? I don't know, but it seems like you somewhat jealous of Letitia. And even your little friend made that comment like, Glenn been reaching out to you. Well, I mean, look at me. What were you trying to say? Like Letitia's not beautiful. Letitia's absolutely gorgeous. She's gorgeous. That is, and she has a beautiful heart. I've never seen Letitia go nasty to anybody. And it hurt my soul to see her in that garage crying to Glenn, just leave us alone. Stop doing this to me. Stop hurting me. Letitia, you don't deserve it. Now, Glenn, you don't get off the hook because you part of the problem. You keep bringing that pain to her. If you hadn't done what you done in the past, she wouldn't be so quick to believe what people say about you. You got to sit in that shit because you caused her the most hurt and pain out of everybody. And you're going to have to sit in it and you're going to have to fix it. Now, I don't know if they still together. All she said was Glenn is healthy. She could be with him, maybe not. I don't know. But what I do know, if she ever decides to take you back because of y'all history, you better make sure you do everything in your power to secure her trust. And that means waiting on her hand and foot. I don't give a damn if she say I need a track on your car, whatever. You better do it. Because we don't want to see Letitia in tears anymore. She don't deserve that. That lady has done nothing on that show but try to keep the collectives together and try to create peace, even in the midst of all the bullshit she had to deal with. Keep your eye on Latrice. I like Latrice. I think she's smart, very smart. She's running all these businesses. She's not a stupid woman. She's a beautiful lady. And that's why I do not believe that she didn't know prior to this show airing that she didn't know a lot. When the DMs came in, she had to know. That's her best friend. That girl told her that. And she probably said, save it for the show. This is going to make some good storylines. I don't believe that. Latrice, you cannot sit here and tell me you run all these businesses and you're as smart as you are, and you didn't think to look at the question that was going to be asked at your party, that your friend didn't tell you this in 2024, allegedly, when these DMs came in. Latrice, I'm just not buying it. I think everything you do has an ulterior motive at this point. So my eye is on you, Latrice. And I know you're trying to feed these storylines. My eye is on you. And if y'all think Latrice y'all friend, y'all better think twice. Because if you ever get under her skin or you ever piss her off, she gonna have an issue. She gonna dig up some dirt on you. Now, Cliff, the only reason Cliff mad about all of this because his friend Glenn not answering the phone. That's his road dog. That's why I say maybe him and Glenn are doing some dirt together. The real question is, why does Cliff hang out at that bar and stay there overnight? Him and Glenn kind of close. And Glenn known to be a cheater. That's all I'm saying. Maybe they got some stuff going up in that room you need to go check on. But I digress. And also, one last thing, the lady who did the questions is one of your employees from Taste. You said that. Yeah, Latrice, I got my eye on you. Y'all think about it. You tell me what you do. You believe Latrice is their friend or not? I ain't got nothing against Latrice. I just feel like that ain't how friends move. That ain't how friends move. Friends don't want to see the other friends hurt in that fashion. And you know the history of Glenn and Letitia. And for you to bring that girl around, even though that girl wasn't, quote, with anybody, because you said it was all couples, and you didn't invite Tamara because you didn't know if her boyfriend was going to be around, but you invited this girl just to get this out. When y'all could have maybe did that at a ladies' brunch and not in front of the men. That's just my take on it. Again, everything on my channel is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Latrice, girl, you foul. If you like it, give me a like. Hit the like button. Share. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. Go ahead and hit that like button right now on the tail end of this video. Okay? Get me up there. I'm still trying to get my viewership up, people. And I'd appreciate it if you go ahead and do that for me. And with that being said, y'all keep an eye and look at your friend circle and see if you got a person like Latrice hanging around that love to get shit started. And if that's that person, they probably really not your friend. All right. And with that being said, you guys go and have a great rest of your day. Again, I know it's a lot of stuff going on in this world. I know every day we wake up to some new bullshit. But all I can tell you is stay focused on what you got going on. Stay prayed up. And I hope a lot of you are not being affected. But unfortunately, I know a lot of people will be affected by some of the things that's going on. But at the end of the day, God always got you. All right. Keep that in mind. And what I would like to say at the end, this is Gen X Nation. As always, peace, and I'm out.